David Samson was on the Dan Lebertard show, and he's cooking everything moving when it comes to the Miami. He wants Pat Riley gone, Eric Spoelstra. He wants this team blown up. He's cooking Mickey. He is cooking everybody. And justifiably so to some degree. I will say this about the Miami Heat before we get into the video. A lot of things didn't go our way. BBL Lowry, he got hurt. Tyler Hero broke his hand. Dragic got hurt in the bubble. Bam got hurt in the bubble. Jimmy Butler got hurt multiple times. A lot of things didn't go our way. The only thing I'll hold Pat Riley and the Miami Heat accountable for is this undrafted foolishness, lying, saying that we have enough when we need talent. There is no excuse for us to not have better high-level role players around Jimmy and Bam when Jimmy was here. That's my thing. I just think that, especially with bad asset management, where we don't have first-round picks or we don't have enough assets, I think they've done a great job in the draft. But like I said, there's still some issues with this Miami Heat team, and no front office is perfect. But at the end of the day, let's get into this video.
Firing everybody. You say the Heat have to clean house, and this is getting... Chris, I don't know how you feel about this. I don't know how the group feels about this. It got loud from one day to the next nationally on Fire Riley.
The national stuff doesn't bother me. Heat fans need to back off, Riley. Yes. You guys are ingrates. Not like you go be a Hornets fan. Wow. All right, look, I'm not saying it's good. It's as bad as it's been in a long time, but I'm gonna ride it out with the Godfather as long as he wants to do it, and he's earned that. And I love this team. I just hate that Heat fans. It's just gross. This guy has given you so much joy, and he gives you like 2 seasons in a row that are a little subpar, and you lose it with him. I'm just done with it.
Samson, you've been firing Riley the last couple of days.
Well, I simply, it's not about firing Pat. It's about him understanding that it's time. And it's a tough thing when you've got someone like Pat Riley because he's never going to get fired by Mickey Arison. And we know that is true. But at some point, you have to do a self-evaluation and say that what we're doing simply is not working. And the way we've constructed this roster is not working. And adding a third star to Bam and Hero, that is not going to be enough. And you therefore have to admit it. And I think it's time. And frankly, Spoelstra looked terrible. We talk about the fact that he acknowledged how embarrassed he was. He just, for whatever issues he's having on or off the court, he looks beaten. And many managers, this happens to them, and coaches, it happens to them. It's a really hard job. The Popoviches are really few and far between. It is time, I believe, for a fresh start in Miami and a fresh set of eyes and ears and voices. And that's not an indictment, Chris Cody, at all. It's been the greatest run you've had, dare I say, in South Florida sports.
It is an
history.
Indictment. How can it not be an indictment? How is that not
because
an indictment?
All runs come to an end,
okay,
Dan.
But is that not it's an indictment? You're saying they should be fired, taking employment from them. You say their careers should end in the disgrace of you're no longer good enough to work here. What do you mean it's not an indictment?
Because all runs come to an end.
So before we rush and fire everybody, these are some of the things that the Miami Heat need to consider. What are they going to do with Bam and Tyler? Do they believe that they can build around those two guys? Obviously, we know that they're not number one, and I don't even think they're number 2 options. I think that you're definitely going to not only need high-level role players around Tyler and Bam, but you're going to need that number 1 go-to scorer. Yes, we love Bam and everything that he does, and of course, this Miami Heat roster construction has been terrible, and it has not benefited Bam. I know a lot of people say that Bam needs a playmaker. Yes and no. Why? Because he's going to be on a max contract. And one of those seasons, he's going to be making almost $60 million. So just like how we cook Tyler Hero for his defensive issues, we also have to hold Bam accountable for the offensive end. So yes, has this roster construction benefited him? Absolutely not. We finally got a rookie center in Khalil Ware to play next to him. Okay, we still don't have a playmaking point guard. And I know a lot of people will say, well, why do we need a playmaking point guard to get him going? Well, most of it is because when you look across the NBA, there's a bunch of good playmaking guards mixed with bigs. When you look at the Pacers, the Cleveland Cavaliers, when you look at the Boston Celtics, they all have great point guards. They all have good playmakers. And that's one thing that the Miami Heat continue to fall short with. That's playmakers, scorers, athletic guards, athletic guys in general, bigs. And these are foundational principles in the NBA, and we cannot allow this to go on any longer. When you look at Tyler Hero, yes, he was an all-star. Yes, he won the three-point competition. Yes, he was healthy this season. But especially when it comes to his new contract going forward, he's going to have to prove it to me. It can't just be one season of you playing well and you being an all-star, and then now you want a $200 million extension. Absolutely not. I cannot wrap up all that money with Tyler and Bam and still not win a championship. I can't. I'm sorry. Now, I know a lot of people, they say, oh, well, let's rebuild or let's retool. If you tear all this down, you're still going to be in misery. You're still not going to be guaranteed a championship. So we have to look at this from all angles. I think what the Miami Heat are going to do going forward, they're going to stick with Bam and Tyler for now, and they're going to see what happens going forward. They have a lot of expiring money coming up. They need to start making some moves. Let's listen to what Bobby Marks had to also say about the Miami Heat going forward.
I'm a Tyler hero, but Bob, you can have more information than I do. So, Bob, you let us know.
I think either player is going to be a challenge. I think they're going to probably be in the back of the line of teams that have more available. Certainly we're talking about maybe Houston as one of those teams that have young players and draft picks here. I think the big question in Miami, and this is not their DNA, would they ever use the R word, which is rebuild? I think that's something that it's very hard threading the needle. They've been a play-in team consistently the last few years. Would they ever consider taking a step back, potentially taking the Oklahoma City approach? And I know that was a lot of pain doing so, and basically build this roster through maybe you get a core player back and draft picks and going in that direction here, because it's going to be hard. Basically, they're going to be where they are right now a year from now if there are no changes here. So it might have to be taking a step back and not have to go and star chasing.
The Miami Heat, they have a lot of work to do. All I can say is, Heat Nation, you have to be patient to some degree. Stars don't just end up on teams overnight, especially when you're talking about a long-term build going forward with new guys. They're going to have to say, are we going to keep Jaime Jovic? Who are we trading? Are we going to keep Pat for the future? What do we think about Eric Spoelstra's offense? We have to be patient. Championships are not built overnight anymore, especially with the new CBA and all these different luxury tax implications. Things are not easy. You have to be able to build a competent team, at least 1 through 7. It's not about having a super team or having this all-star stacked up roster. No. 1 through 7 or 1 through 8 have to be great two-way players, playmakers. They have to be well-rounded NBA players. It can't just be a 2K roster. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Hit that subscribe button, and thank you for all the support.